AEW Dynamite, huh? AEW Dynamite. Fallout show, I should say, from Double or Nothing last Sunday. Friday nights, we're back again with AEW, which is going to be going on for a minute with the NBA playoffs still running. This is the Fallout show. Like I said, Double or Nothing. You can go check out that review right now from Sunday. So, what do we got on AEW tonight from Friday and whatnot? With a lot of going on, somewhat newsworthy in a way, too, which I'm kind of surprised they still pulled this out at the same time. But yeah, let's see what we got here. We kicked off the show with Pentagon Jr. and Pac versus the Young Bucks. Gallows and Anderson, Don Callis, and Nakazawa were with the Young Bucks. And as they were headed to the ring, Frankie Kazarian came out saying he would take out all of the Elite as Gallows and Anderson ended up chasing after him then after that. So as this tag match basically began then, of course, you got to dive and whatnot. But there's a lot to say about this tag match. One thing I should say is that Rick Knox, some would say, is the worst referee out there right now, which wow, this guy does not call anybody to do anything throughout this whole match. When you look at it, he just does not enforce no type of rule. Like, everybody just runs along and does everything, just multiple double teams and whatnot. It wasn't a bad tag match, but by God, I sit there and I'm like, does the referee really enforce anything half the time? Because I know Pentagon ended up crashing with Rick Knox, and Nick Jackson pulled off his mask, but he had another mask under it. So a mask with another mask. He ended up kicking Nick in the nuts then. They hit him with the package power driver. Pac hit the Black Arrow then after that, but Matt Jackson broke it up. Pac went back to the top rope then until Brandon Cutler came in and knocked Pac's knee with the camera, which the referee was very far away from this and very far from this whole spot, which Nick Jackson ended up basically, getting Pac and pinning him in after that with the bad knee. Like I said, the referee was just blinded. It's like he was so far away. It's like he never even saw the interference or even near the interference. He just saw the pin. I don't know what to really say about that, but by God, he was not enforcing anything. I had to even sit there and say that throughout that match to myself, like, man, this must be like some no DQ or just tornado tag or something like that, because the referee just kind of tends to just kind of stand around there and whatnot. But after the match, then the Bucks end up attacking Pentagon and Pac then about to start the BT trigger. Eddie Kingston came out then for the save then right after, which, Eddie Kingston, man, that guy's getting a lot of heat up line. I wouldn't really have known it until I saw it on Twitter. So what? He quoted DMX, and, he did say DMX is like his top three rappers, but what he quoted him on Twitter, listen, I know this nigga ain't black and everything, and he's Puerto Rican and whatnot. Yeah, he can't say nigga and whatnot because he's not black, but I know he apologized for it, but I don't know, man. I ain't really about to make that big a deal on that shit. Um, I can see if it's a white dude doing this, but I don't know, man. I know he apologized and everything, but was it really that much to trip about when you think about it? Because I have to remember this dude ain't black and he Puerto Rican, but at the same time, I'm like, it's DMX and it's Twitter, but am I about to go do this cancel crap over what he said on Twitter? Come on now. I don't know, man. I just kind of saw that yesterday. I'm like, they really going his head over this, huh? I'm like, all right, it's whatever, but all right. Next, though, Tony Schiavone brought out Mark Henry, who had no music, though. I think they need 3-6 Mafia back. And he's the special analyst for their new Rampage show in the next few months, as Henry basically got a pretty big pop and whatnot. He said, I'm not here to fix AEW because it's not broken. He's just here to turn some screws and whatnot. And, they asked him if he's going to get back in the ring again. And right now, he's not going to say yes, but he said he's got a lot left in the tank. Next thing you know, Vicky Guerrero comes out yelling, excuse me, and saying, get the hell out of a ring and whatnot, which they end up leaving. And next, she talked about a guy who's won championships all around the world. He's a third generation wrestler. And she announced his name, Andrade El Idolo. Basically, Andrade Cien Almas has made his debut, which the crowd looked like they popped, but they were booing at the same time because it's Vicky. He thanked her and everything. He thanked her. He said that he used to call himself the face of Latinos, but now he wants to call himself the face of AEW, which Vicky told everybody to cheer and whatnot, applause, which, the crowd seems pretty shocked about this, but it wasn't a big pop or anything. See, good for Almas if he is signed to AEW. So it's a good pick and everything. So I figured he was going to be here. Now I understand why he's here because he is still facing Kenny Omega for that AAA Mega Championship pretty soon, whenever that will be at Triple Mania and whatnot. But at the same time, I don't know if that's really a good idea putting him with Vicky Guerrero. I'm surprised they put him out there on a Friday night around like almost 9 something around here in my time. Now you would think they could wait till Wednesdays and then bring him out on TV, but let's bring him out on a Friday night, folks. And because come on, I know the ratings look like crap last week for AEW. Can Almas here move the ratings? I don't know. All right. And putting him with Vicky, I'm sitting there wondering like the people look like they would have cheered and popped, but it's Vicky Guerrero they're gonna boo because honestly, I just believe Vicky Guerrero has go away heat. And here's the thing with this too. If Vicky Guerrero barely could do anything for Nyla Rose, and we barely even see them on TV, what makes me believe she's gonna be able to do something to advance, Andrade's career? Now I'm sure everybody would say if Vega, which didn't get people already saying Vega maybe going to WWE, back to WWE and whatnot. That's been going around lately. Now, if Vega would have came out with Almas, okay, I think the crowd reaction would have been a little bit bigger and whatnot. But I think the crowd was kind of confused. Like, we want to cheer him, but you with Vicky, so it looked like it was more boos than cheers. And it looked like the crowd was very confused. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of this move. I'm really not. So I'm like, dude, it's Vicky Guerrero. Like, I get he needs a manager, like someone to speak for him, but can we get Pentagon's translator or something? That I would have minded that. I think he'd be better than Vicky Guerrero. So why did they even do this? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Cody Rhodes, Captain America himself, and Lee Johnson went against QT Marshall and Anthony Gogo. I am not surprised by who won this because I figured this was going to happen. Of course, Aaron Solo gets involved. Cody sets up for the crossroads, and then Ogogo hits him with a big right hand KO at the jaw on Cody, knocking him out. QT basically said, I told you all I could beat Cody. Tony Schiavone, you should see the look on your face and whatnot. Listen, okay? See, this win would have meant more if they had a go over Cody on Sunday, all right? So let me get this straight. You had a go win, which I don't know why he wasn't knocking folks out in the face to begin with instead of doing the whole gut punch. If he did that knockout punch on Sunday, that would have been better. To the face, not the gut, but to the face. And honestly, I now feel like this feud is going to continue. It's going to end up in another Cody versus QT match. I don't need to see this match again. I don't really want to watch it. And it's like, what was the point of doing that last Sunday? I still think they should have put a go over, and I still think that was the least favorite match out of that whole show. I didn't like it. Why didn't they just do that on Sunday? It's like you knew they were going to get a win by some cheap tactic, and it was like, what, it took 3 guys to beat Cody? So I don't know, man. I just getting tired of this feud, and I don't need to see Cody fight his underling anymore. It's not good, okay? It really isn't, and they should have used that knockout punch to the face on Sunday. The Inner Circle came out, basically giving everybody free T-shirts, like he's Oprah now under the seat. And Sammy Guevara talked about he was the hero of the match. He used to do 630s off his mom's backyard, off the garage. But now it's surreal now that he's here in AEW, and now he's here with his brothers and whatnot. Santana saying, it's one of the greatest moments in his lives and career. We accomplished a lot together. We kicked a lot of ass and whatnot, and we left those guys laying in a ditch. But this feud it's far from over. Jake Hager, God, why do they keep giving this man a microphone? But apparently in 2 weeks, he's challenging Wardlow to an MMA cage fight. So welcome to Bloodsport, folks. I know the guy fights for, Bellator still, I believe, but I guess we're doing Bloodsport or a Lions Den match, but it's going to be an MMA cage match in the next 2 weeks. Jericho, once again talked about MJF. Basically even talked about the others, saying it pisses him off what happened, even in Blood and Guts being thrown off that cage and whatnot, almost having his lights out forever. But he said he will never forgive the Inner Circle, and he doesn't forget. Honestly, why is this feud continuing? If it's one thing I can say about the theme of this show, is why are a lot of these feuds continuing? You'd think they'd be over after the pay-per-view. Why am I still seeing the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle going? This should have ended already. It should have ended after Blood and Guts. I don't know why they need to do this Stadium Stampede match. I don't know what else they need to accomplish at this point now. Why are we still going with this? Move on. It's like everyone on this show is still doing the same feud. I'm still seeing Cody and QT. I'm still seeing the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. I'm still seeing Hangman Page versus Team Taz out there. I haven't even gotten to Sting and Darby yet. We'll get to them in a second too. But it's like they're continuing these feuds when they don't really need to be continued. Why is this still going? Why is Jake Hager even holding a microphone, even talking? Why am I seeing an MMA cage match in the next 2 weeks on this show? Why? Why? It's questions to this show. And I don't want to hear when people say, oh, well, they're on Friday night, so they don't really have to try. I've seen that a lot tonight on Twitter. What do you mean they don't have to try? You niggas got a crowd out there. You need to try your hardest in this time slot right now. I don't want to hear they don't have to try out there. And honestly, I was even feeling this show all the way tonight anyways, but let's continue on, okay? Because it's more to get through on here. Where else do we go here? Orange Cassidy cut a promo saying this isn't over. Callis and Omega were in the back messing with the video or production in the back, talking about Jungle Boy, which now they moved that match to Saturday now. It was going to be on Friday in the next week or two, but now they moved it to Saturday on June 26th, I believe, for some reason. Private Party and Matt Hardy, the restaurant, the bus boys and the restaurant manager versus Christian and Jungle Boy. Wasn't a bad match or anything. Jungle Boy got the win and a good reaction from that. But even my friend said this tonight. If Private Party are like the number 3 tag team in the rankings are supposedly undefeated, why are they losing to a makeshift tag team of Christian and Jungle Boy and whatnot? I almost thought Christian was about to turn on Jungle Boy for a second after they were kind of celebrating, but Matt Hardy had hit Christian with a twist of fate, leaving him on the ground. So obviously we're gonna get Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage pretty soon, but still. Um, but still, why is the makeshift tag team going over the regular tag team? But then again, Private Party look like 2 bus boys right now. They all look like restaurant managers. Well, Matt Hardy's the restaurant manager. Darby Allin and Sting came out. Sting talked about it's one of the biggest experiences, incredible experiences he's had in wrestling, and Double or Nothing will be a night he never will forget. As fans chanted, "You still got it." Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page showed up on the screen, basically congratulating Sting and Darby. I don't get these Scorpio promos sometime. And, they said if Sting hadn't been there, Darby would still be lying there saying, they called him a bitch and you need your partner to rely on and whatnot. Why don't you go out and get someone else and then fight us again, a different partner other than Sting? Once again, why am I still continuing to see this feud? Why is Sting and Darby Allin still fighting these guys? They already beat him unless you want to do 50-50 booking. I remember somebody telling me this the other day. If Sting's a main eventer, why is he out there going against mid cards and not going against other big main event guys in his position he's in right now? Because he is a big star in wrestling. And listen, the guy's putting over guys or whatnot. But then again, why am I still seeing this feud between Sting and Darby versus Scorpio and Ethan Page? Why am I still seeing this? Britt Baker had her celebration, saying that it was a big gonna be like Jericho. There's Big Macs under the ring, but there's not any and whatnot, like a coupon and whatnot. Coupons, I think they have a bunch of people in the ring, a lot of job guys out there. What Diamante, Luther, Peter Avalon, Nyla Rose, Vicky Guerrero out there. Baker thanked the crowd for attending her celebration and whatnot, being a new AEW Women's Champion. And like Jericho, I'm just gonna give you all coupons, all right? So, yeah, you guys don't need the burgers. Baker said Double or Nothing, 3 letters plastered over the building. That's DMD. And she's going to carry this company as the champion. And next thing you know, they had the burgers and whatnot. Everyone who wants to have a burger and whatnot, her and Rebel. Nyla Rose ended up just dumping burgers and left. So, obviously, it's probably going to be Nyla Rose and Britt Baker at some point. Pentagon and Pac were in the back saying, I need Eddie Kingston's help. I'm glad they haven't forgot about that feud and whatnot with the whole Death Triangle and everything. So at least they haven't forgot about. But Eddie Kingston, like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Red Velvet went against the Bunny. Red Velvet, stop doing fucking dives out there because, good Lord, she almost broke her neck doing that. All right, but Velvet still won with like a big kick to the Bunny Alley and won the match. Big Swole and I swear to God, I didn't even know Big Swole was still there. And some other girl, I forgot who it was, came out and celebrated then. Um, who else was out there? Dark Order. I guess it was John Silver's birthday, but since his shoulder's still hurt, he's letting Evil Uno get his TNT title shot. Miro had a promo thanking God for his strength and his wife for being really hot. Miro cut a really good promo right here. Like, Evil Uno, you think you have a chance to face me with the strength I have and whatnot? Okay, you don't have a chance. You're emotional and whatnot, but I'm going to destroy you. Okay, and you're not the type of man that's going to come up and think you're going to win. You need to be someone and make sure you're that tough. You're going to survive. Once again, I question why wasn't this Miro brought in the beginning of this show? That was good. And in the main event, we got Dustin Rhodes versus Nick Camarato in a bull rope match. Camarato solo a go go. Camarato solo a go go. Camarato solo a go go. Go go. That is hilarious. I don't care what anybody say. That's funny. But this bull rope match, listen, it wasn't a bad match or anything, but why was this the main event? Someone tell me why. I don't know why we saw this as the main event. I don't know why this needed to be the main event. It wasn't a bad match, but Dustin got the win, and once again I question why they're still feuding QT's crew. Like, hey, QT's crew won tonight, but your biggest guy just lost to Dustin Rhodes out there. And Dustin's a legend, nothing, not a knock on him or anything, but I'm not saying he should have put over Camarado, but come on now, like, Dustin just hog-tied him and won after beating him with the damn cowbell and whatnot. So I don't know, man. I don't know why this was the main event. Why was this really the main event? I don't even think the crowd really cared. I don't even know that was a full crowd out there. Did it look like they cared out there, even from the whole spectator wrestlers they still had out there? Because I felt like the crowd didn't give a shit. They really didn't. All right, and I don't know why this was the main event. Honestly, this show was okay. All right, we saw Almas debut and maybe like a couple other things, but I just said to myself, why am I continuing to see these feuds? Why are we moving on to the next feud? Okay, I don't understand that. I don't understand why this was the main event with Camarato and Dustin Rhodes. It's just like I just didn't really care that much. Okay, and like I already said, I'm not repeating myself. Why are we still seeing these feuds continue? Why? We think you move on from this. So I get this was a Fallout show, but I don't know. This show was just it was okay. All right, but honestly, I don't even see the ratings going up that much either. All right, this was okay. It's not much I can really say from this. So I've said was already needed to be said, but it was it was okay. I guess like a lot of shit just was not good. It really just didn't really look that good out there. So I like the pay per view, but this Fallout show, I ain't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it that much. But yeah, I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. See you guys later. Peace out. You know how it goes. I'm out. There you go. I can't do the whole repeat thing and whatnot. HoodedKnight890 Twitter.